Hi, this is the introduction to the data analytics component of CIS 1060. This is the first of several lectures or mini lectures that will be introducing concepts for data analytics. Now, one of the things that people always ask about data analytics is why do we have to deal with analytics today? Well, businesses have grown in such a way that they need to be competitive. And in fact, this has been the issue with businesses throughout time is how do we be more and more competitive? However, in the past short amount of time, you can say 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we've had some major developments that have happened in the world that have advanced this use of analytical methods in order to gain a competitive advantage. Now, you're all aware of the technology that's available. I mean, we have scanners, we have internet usage, we have social media, and we have the most popular thing that most every one of you has, and that is mobile phones, or more specifically, smartphones. Now, you already know that smartphones can track your location, it can track your emails, your communication, your text messages. It tracks your photographs, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. Also, some of you may have Fitbits or Apple Watches that track your fitness levels and the activities that you do when you're most active, when you're least active. All these things create data. Well, businesses want to use this data, and in order to be efficient and profitable and be able to provide products for their customers, this data is valuable, extremely valuable to them. A lot of times people think about Facebook and don't stop to think that Facebook is collecting data about them. It's free to you, the consumer, because they are selling your data. And then it makes you stop to think, are they really offering this to you and you are the customer? Or in retrospect, are they really collecting you and you are nothing more than a product that they are selling to other businesses for advertisement? So in some regards, in Facebook and other social media websites, you are not the customer, but you are the product, and you give away your data for free. But businesses want to use that data, and this is a major development with business analytics. Second development is that we have numerous ways of analyzing data now. If any of you are familiar with any kind of programming languages such as Python, R, or other types of statistical management or statistical analysis tools, there are many ways to be able to analyze data. There are algorithms that will be able to determine the best result and help people make really strong decisions. And of course, you can always summarize data with visualizations that will make the data easy to understand. And last and most important, we have technology that is available through the cloud. We have technology that can store terabytes upon terabytes of data and also process all this data. It used to be that you had to own all of this equipment, but now through services such as Amazon Web Services, Google has similar packages as well as Microsoft with Microsoft Azure. The possibilities become endless because you can just rent the computing equipment to do your analysis. So with these three major developments, business analytics is just part of the landscape in order to be competitive today. But what does it mean to be competitive? What is it that we have to do? Well, in order to be competitive, you have to make a series of decisions, and those decisions all have to be aligned with some direction to make you the leader that you want to be in your field, in your business. So decisions actually exist on multiple levels. Every manager has a decision. They may have to make strategic, tactical, or operational decisions. But a lot of times people ask, well, what's a strategic decision? What's a tactical decision? And what's an operational decision? Well, I always like to break it down, and it kind of goes in this hierarchy. Strategy based decisions are really looking at overall direction of an organization. These are usually at that 30,000 foot level, and they define the overall goals. So for example, if a business wants to be the low cost leader in retail, which happens to be Walmart's strategy, they will set a series of goals in order to be able to achieve that direction. Tactically, how do they go about meeting those goals? These are tactical decisions. So do they drop prices? So they decide to only offer products at a 3% profit margin, et cetera, et cetera. These are decisions that can be that are done at the mid-level management capacity, and these are not necessarily day-to-day operations, but they are typically shorter term types of decisions that will support the strategy of the organization. And of course, operational decisions are operation based things that make sure that the business is run. So in the example of Walmart, if they're looking at getting product out to customers and they have to, let's say they come across a situation where a truck is running behind, they may have to have an alternative option to give to customers because that truck is running late. Or if not enough employees are available to run the cashiers, they may have, to keep the operation going, they may have to make a new decision. So these are the decisions that are made at different levels in an organization. So just know that strategy is at the top level, tactical is kind of a middle level, and operation is the day-to-day level. So decision making has a basic process. You identify and define your problem. You determine your criteria that you're going to be able to use, or what you're going to use to say that this is going to be the proper solution for your problem. What are those alternative solutions that you may want to evaluate? Evaluate and choose those alternatives. The number one thing I want every student to know when it comes to decision making, which I believe is the most important. I believe 80% of decision making is all based on this one step in the process, and that is knowing your problem. If you have a poorly defined problem, you cannot be successful. So make sure that you know to identify and define the problem clearly and well before you continue on any other steps. Once you define your problem well, all of the other components of the decision-making process are pretty straightforward. A lot of times people have made decisions based on tradition. Typically people might say, well, I've been working in this place for 50 years, and in 50 years we've always made decisions this way. That's tradition. Another is, I trust my gut, and my gut tells me to do this, so I'm going to do it. Well, that is intuition. And rules of thumb might be, well, the sky looks blue today, so I don't need an umbrella, so I'm going to go out and not worry about it. But keep in mind that in all of these situations, it's all based on people's thoughts and views of past history. But however, today we have relevant data that is available, like weather data. It might be sunny now, but we can see the radar that there's clouds coming our way and it potentially could rain in our area. Even though that it's sunny, we might want to grab an umbrella because it could be wet later this afternoon. So that's using data to make decisions. But how about you? What about you and your decision making? When you see your gas gauge close to empty, what do? Well, you're going to look for a place to get some gas. But when you see that gas is close to $5 a gallon, do you decide to go to the next gas station? And of course, talking about the forecast, here you have a series of potential forecast options. What do you do on Sunday morning when this is what you wake up to and this is the forecast? Bring an umbrella, of course. So all of these are nothing more than data points. You use data to make decisions. And we want decision making to be as simple as that gas gauge. So many times throughout this, the rest of these lectures, I may ask you, is your decision as simple as seeing E on your gas gauge? So that ends this first lecture. Please stay tuned for future lectures to come.